Kayla Hauer, and this is Global News Network. Tonight's top story, climate change. What is it? How does it affect our planet? And what can we do to stop it? Although the terms are often used interchangeably, climate change and global warming are not the same thing. Global warming is an aspect of climate change. It refers to the rise in global average temperature, which contributes to changing climate patterns. Climate change itself refers to any significant change in the measures of climate, such as temperature, wind patterns, or precipitation, that occur over several decades or longer. According to the Environmental Protection Agency, both natural and human factors have caused Earth's climate to change. Prior to the Industrial Revolution, changes in solar energy, volcanic eruptions, and natural changes in greenhouse gas concentrations accounted for the variations in Earth's climate. However, recent climate change cannot be explained by natural causes alone. Deforestation, industrial processes, some agricultural practices, and burning fossil fuels have all substantially contributed to the amount of CO2 and other heat-trapping gases in the atmosphere, increasing our planet's natural greenhouse effect and overall temperature. Climate change has a huge impact on our planet and the plants, animals, and humans that inhabit it. Most plants live in areas with very specific climate conditions, such as temperature or rainfall patterns that enable them to thrive. Any change in the climate of an area can affect the plants living there, as well as the makeup of the entire ecosystem. Some species are already responding to a warmer climate by moving to cooler locations. Climate change also alters the life cycles of plants. For example, as temperatures rise, many plants are starting to grow and bloom earlier in the spring and survive later into the fall. Animals are similar to plants in that they most often live in areas with very specific climate conditions, which are now being affected by climate change. Much like the plants, some animals are moving farther north into higher elevations to find suitable places to live. In addition, some animals are waking from hibernation sooner or migrating at different times. The effects of climate change are so severe that if the Earth keeps getting warmer, up to 1/4 of all plants and animals on Earth could be extinct within 100 years. Humans will face some unique challenges as a result of climate change. Temperature-related illnesses will become even more common and could even prove fatal to those most at risk. Increased air pollution will make respiratory conditions worse. Some infectious diseases might even be able to spread more easily because their carriers, ticks and mosquitoes, can survive longer throughout the year and expand their ranges. And lastly, rising sea levels could see cities on the water, like Miami or Venice, flood more often and or more severely. Now, some of you at home submitted questions about this topic that you wanted us to answer. Here to answer those questions is our climate change expert, Kayla Hauer. Take it away, Kayla. Thanks, Kayla. I'm sorry I couldn't be there in person, but it's important for all of us to continue social distancing. Climate change is a very important issue, and I'm happy to answer any questions your audience might have. Let's hear the first one.
Hi, this is Anna from Scranton, Pennsylvania. I want to know what efforts are being made by the government and by other organizations to combat this problem.
Excellent question, Anna. The Environmental Protection Agency is currently collecting greenhouse gas emissions data to track emissions trends and identify opportunities to reduce those emissions. They also implement initiatives like the Vehicle Greenhouse Gas Rules that will eliminate 6 billion metric tons of greenhouse gas pollution. Another initiative they're responsible for is the Clean Power Plan, which will bring carbon pollution from the power sector below 2005 levels once fully implemented. The Clean Air Task Force is also making efforts to combat climate change through both legislation and research. The organization explores advanced nuclear energy, decarbonized fossil energy, and bioenergy as alternatives to traditional fossil fuels. In addition, they have brought lawsuits against the government to stop the rollback of environmental regulations and help create an incentive for carbon capture technology. Now I think we have time for one more question. Let's take a listen.
Hello, this is Lauren from Erie, PA. My question is, what can the average person do to help fix climate change?
This is another great question. While it might seem as though one single person can't make a difference, if we all do our part, those small steps will add up. Here are 3 easy things we can all do to help address climate change. The first thing you can do is use energy wisely. Things like unplugging electronics when you're not using them, buying Energy Star appliances, and switching to LED light bulbs all help lower your carbon footprint and save you money as well. The second thing you can do is start eating a more climate-friendly diet. Buying local whenever possible, not wasting food, and reducing meat consumption all put less pressure on the food supply chain. And lastly, vote. Although it's important to take action to reduce our own carbon footprint, we also need to focus on changing the larger system, because that's where we have the greatest opportunity to reduce emissions. Well, it looks like that's all the time we have for questions today. Thank you so much for having me. Back to you in the studio. Well, that's all for tonight, folks. Be sure to tune in tomorrow when we'll be talking about deforestation and its harmful effects on our planet. And don't forget to submit any questions you might have. They might just be answered by our very own expert. Until next time, from all of us here at GNN, good night.